panels. We would like to go our next step. It's beyond that the launch of BitTorrent X unveils a new era for BitTorrent, right? So who made the leap from a household name in data sharing to a new ecosystem supported by next generation infrastructures, including decentralized data storage like BitTorrent file system, right? In short, the Btfs. Distributed application, BitTorrent, and live streaming platform, dlive.tv. So next up, let's welcome Justion Knoll, head of BitTorrent product and engineering, to deliver a keynote speech titled BitTorrent X to build the next generation decentralized internet. Let's welcome Justion. Hi, Justion.
Hey.
Yeah, it's your time.
Good to be with you guys today.
Sure.
Yep. Great to be here. Thanks. Yeah, I'm going to tell everyone a bit about what we've been up to in the last year in terms of BitTorrent X and BitTorrent Speed and Btfs. Let me get started and give a little bit of an overview here. So in terms of BitTorrent product updates, as I said, we'll start with BitTorrent Speed, and we'll go into an overview of what it is and why you might want to use it. And then we'll move on to the growth that we've seen over the last couple of quarters and over the last year, and then some of the features that have been under development. Then I'll shift gears into BitTorrent file system and tell you guys a little bit about what that is, same sort of format overview, why you might use it, the great growth that we've seen over the last year, and some of the features that we've built and some of the features that we have planned. So very excited to dive into this. Let's get started. BitTorrent Speed. So first, let's start by talking about the very first tokenized use case in the BitTorrent product family, BitTorrent Speed. So BitTorrent Speed is basically a feature that allows BitTorrent network participants to earn and spend BTT tokens in exchange for bandwidth. For users that are interested, they can go and download one of our torrent clients, and it's a free download, and the product will onboard you automatically and set you up with a wallet and allow you to start seeing the increased download speeds immediately. Once you've downloaded torrents, if you choose to seed them longer, then you have the capability to earn BTT tokens in exchange for seeding. This happens between two peers in the network who discover each other in a decentralized way. So we're not involved in the middle of it. They find each other, they bid for download bandwidth, and they're able to exchange these things directly with each other. So why use it? Well, because first and foremost, it enables faster downloads, which is one of the core values and one of the core things that has made BitTorrent the most popular decentralized application today, and is very much connected to how users use the product today. And after you're done downloading, it allows you to then give back to the community by seeding, which means uploading when you have a complete copy. This creates a sort of virtuous cycle that allows for a reciprocal benefit between users that can extend beyond a single torrent download. So it gives you a sort of sense of like almost like reputation or karma, or really a medium of exchange in the form of this token, so that you can earn some value for the good you do in supporting the community by seeding. So the major components of the Speed ecosystem I'll briefly describe here. First, we have the clients, and those are our release vehicle for all of our token-based use cases. This is the way that we're able to introduce BitTorrent Speed, Btfs, and all other future use cases to a very broad audience. They're one of the most popular decentralized apps, as I mentioned, and between the two torrent clients the two brands that we run, BitTorrent and uTorrent, we have the lion's share of the torrent ecosystem. So it gives us a great sort of opportunity to introduce new use cases to this vast audience of technologically sophisticated early adopters. In the case of Speed, the tokens are intimately connected with the BitTorrent protocol. So the client is trading pieces via BitTorrent, and at the same time, it is connected to a crypto wallet that I'll get into briefly in a moment, and is exchanging bidding information in order to get access to bandwidths from other peers in the swarm. Then we have BTT, which I'll talk about both for Speed and for Btfs, and which is connected to some other products within the TRON portfolio. BTT is a TRC10 cryptographic token that we use as the medium of exchange for torrent acceleration and speed, and as a staking and reward token in other platforms and other products. We'll talk about it briefly in the Btfs section. And then last, we have the TRON blockchain, which I won't go into in great detail. I think everyone here is familiar with it. So the beauty of this approach is that we can take different pieces, different of these major components, and reuse them in other products. Or we can take a piece and say, well, this piece of it, we want to introduce an entirely new application, entirely new, fundamentally different protocol. And so by separating the responsibilities in this way, we can get a good balance between being able to build on what we have, or take these individual sort of Legos and build a new and entirely different product like Btfs. So next, we'll look briefly at what this looks like in practice. So you see here we have our popular uTorrent web torrent client streaming a video, and at the same time, a user is able to set up a wallet, enter a recovery phrase, and get onboarded into the crypto ecosystem with very little friction. We've optimized the way that we introduce these users through onboarding, and we've also provided incentives in the form of optional airdrop that can be claimed, which lets them get started and see the value of the BitTorrent Speed product immediately. One of the things that users have asked for more recently, and that we've built in just the last couple of quarters, is a more detailed earning and spending dashboard. So by design, BitTorrent Speed works automatically in the background. Once you've installed the client and set up your wallet, it will automatically attempt to accelerate downloads for you by participating in these piece auctions with other peers. If you choose to seed, it will automatically earn. And that's very much by design. We wanted it to be something where users don't need to understand all the complexity in order for it to work. And I think that was one of the keys to its success, and we'll see the growth numbers very shortly. But people want more visibility into exactly what's going on in some cases. And so we listened to that feedback and introduced this feature. Up next, we'll talk a little bit about globalized approach to the product and how we've localized. So originally, we introduced the product in English, where our development team is able to iterate very quickly and receive feedback from users. But BitTorrent Speed, being a new product, that was initially the correct approach for ease of experimentation. Then we wanted to take it to our global audience, and we have a very distributed audience in many languages. And so in the last couple of quarters, we've also localized so that we have coverage of 11 of our most popular languages. And as a result, we're starting to see increased usage from users distributed throughout the world, which creates this truly global network of users who are exchanging bandwidth for these tokens. Next, I'll talk a little bit about performance. So the key value prop for users is two-sided. The first side of the coin is that you can download things more quickly by using these tokens if you choose to opt into this feature. And the other side of the coin is that you can seed in order to earn tokens. And so the first side of the coin that we tackled was download acceleration. And you can see in this graph that we're very serious about measuring performance and working to improve it. As you go from left to right in this graph, you can see that as users download more and more of a torrent as a result of bidding and interaction with other peers that have the wallet enabled, you see increased speed. So brighter colors in this graph correlate to increased download speeds. So we've seen already some pretty good performance improvements, and every day the team's working to figure out how we can compound those improvements and make it even better for users. So next I'll talk a bit about sort of growth that we've seen in speed. And so the metric that I want to focus on today is new TRON accounts that were created by BitTorrent Speed users. So earlier you saw that video, that screencast of the way that a user, while they're downloading or while they're watching content, can very easily be onboarded into setting up their wallet and getting introduced to other crypto use cases. As we've rolled that out, we've iterated, we've tested, we've made new versions of it, we've added it to different products, and we've listened to user feedback. And as we've increased the rollout, we've seen more and more TRON accounts being created by those Speed users. So the team recently crossed a milestone of more than 1 million TRON accounts, on-chain accounts created by users of BitTorrent Speed. The current value is about 1.2 million, and it's growing every day. At the peak volume, this represents a significant chunk of the daily TRON account creation, and it's testament to our ability to add new users to the TRON family and to the TRON use cases. I mentioned also that we offer this incentive for users to claim the airdrop to get started right away. And in tandem with setting up the accounts, many users are claiming that airdrop and getting introduced by starting out with some BTT that they can use to accelerate downloads. Now that we've talked about speed, let me shift gears and cover Btfs briefly. So Btfs, what is it? So at a high level, it is this. It's a decentralized file storage and sharing network, which connects the TRON blockchain, the BTT token, and the BitTorrent ecosystem. Distinct from Speed, where Speed is actually directly connected to the BitTorrent protocol, this is something where there is a new protocol, there is a sort of new use case, and so it's the first one where we're introducing BitTorrent users in a way where they can not only download and have a market for their bandwidth, but they can also participate in the storage network. So that takes me to point two. It's the first scalable decentralized storage network that's backed by about 100 million BitTorrent users. And it's a tokenized payment system based on that BTT TRC10 token. Now the nodes in Btfs are split between three roles, potentially with overlap. One is that of miners who secure the network. Next you have storage hosts, which is, as you'd expect, people who store files on behalf of others and have to submit responses to challenges and prove that they are good custodians and hosts for that data. And then file renters who are participating in this market by renting storage as opposed to bandwidth in the case of BitTorrent Speed using the BTT token. So why use it? The advantages as compared with traditional cloud technologies and also to many competitors in the decentralized space are, one, there's no centralized entity control. So your data belongs to you, and you can put it in the edge of the network as opposed to trusting a centralized storage provider like AWS or Google Cloud Platform or Azure with the storage of your data. There's data privacy enabled through encryption and anonymity within the node network. There is a high level of availability and reliability of the distributed hosts. And this is largely because of our ability to take BitTorrent nodes and allow those users to opt into the Btfs system. There's also a very low cost of storage as compared to traditional cloud storage, and it is an open source community which is very developer friendly. Moving on to growth, Btfs user base has seen very healthy growth since it was introduced in April of this year. We're now at about 200K plus daily active users, 500K plus monthly active users. That open source community that I mentioned has more than 1,000 developers, and the network is secured by over 5,000 highly active miners. So as we go forward into this new BitTorrent era, Btfs is supporting the set of features that you see here. So you have decentralized file storage and mining, decentralized file repair and mining. So if miners miners are able to ensure that the network stays robust. So in any distributed system like this, you're going to have some level of pure churn. So people might agree to store a file, but leave the network. So their share of the file is not necessarily present in the form that they had it, but there's a reconstruction repair mechanism that allows it to be recreated by the still existing shares on the network. Decentralized challenge in mining. So challenges prove that the storage is intact and that the storage contract guarantees are being honored by hosts. A renter UI. So this is the interface that allows people to name their price and enter into storage contracts with the network, and staking-based rewards. So there are still other technical hurdles to cross before we'll be able to build all of these things, but based on the rate of growth that we've had over the last year, we should be able to make very good progress on this. So let me get through the rest of this. So stay tuned to announcement channels, and we'll talk more about feature releases and include more instructional tutorials in the documentation. And that's it today. Thank you very much for your time. I really enjoyed telling you guys a bit about what we're doing with BitTorrent Speed and Btfs.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you for your presentation here. I mean, as BitTorrent X marks a big